Now I think the steering is somewhat sorted. I can now turn my attention to the rear of the car. I need to start fitting the rear Audi Diff into this car. That way I can get that out of the way and I can move on to the seats and the pedal box. But first I gotta do the diff. Okay, got this out.
Saw Andrew was out there in San Diego. What's up with that girl Abby? She got married or something? Yeah, she got married.
I'm getting ready to fit this Audi Diff. I already have it on jack stands. It's centered as best I could get it. I think it's actually pretty good. I did some measuring. I got these lines here. I got it 5 1/4 off these holes, which I think these holes are, I would assume they're centered. And the diff just looks centered now that I measured it. But I have these lines, and I did a square from this line to the diff flange on both sides. 5 1/4 in, 5 1/4 in. So that's good. And I leveled it front and back, got it in the hole. This is where it needs to be. This is where it's going. And then the front, I can wiggle back and forth. I'll get to that later. But for now, I want to get the rear mounted in the car. And this is going to be maybe the longest drive shaft in history. We'll see. Besides like funny cars, because those are probably the longest ever, but this one's gonna be pretty long. So I got some steel, I got some square stock, flat stock, 3/16, 1/4 inch. I have some more square stock over there. And I have this other 1/4 inch plate picked up. I went to the store and I picked up a bunch of sheet metal. I got some more way the hell over there too. All right, let's get this thing mounted. All right, the first thing I wanna do, I have these already holes right here on both sides, so I'm going to utilize that. I'm just going to put a square stock, the square pipe probably just going across, and then I got these mounts, these polyurethane mount things, and I got these 3 bolt holes in the back of the diff, so you can kind of see where this is going. It's going to be all attached in there. All right, I got my holes drilled for this pipe. It's gonna get bolted in from underneath. I'm gonna weld these nuts inside here and make them captive. And then these can like thread into the bottom. And once I know those are good, I'll just put caps on the end here so no water can get inside. after a little bit of primer, these things are looking great. I'm gonna get these back in the car right now and move on. So this is gonna take care of the back of the diff. I'm still have to do make a mount for the front of the diff. So I'll get this back in and I'll start looking at the front. All right, so I got a tube going across. I'll probably just weld it in and I'll make some tabs off of this to the front part of this diff. And kind of like the same thing in the back, but for the front. And we'll just kind of wing it and go for it. All right, to make that plate, I have this big 1/4 inch piece of steel I got from the Metals Depot place. They wrote down 3/16, but I am sure this is not 3/16, it's 1/4 inch. It's the thickest thing I have that should be able to support this. I wish it was 3/16. I think this is a little bit overkill, but I'm just gonna use it because this is what I have. And we're already looking like we got 12 inches for length, 12.5, so I'm just gonna cut 6 inches off of this. I'll cut that off and then we'll make some holes. All right, in the car, this is how the bracket would sit. This is pointed towards the front of the car right here. So I need to line up these holes like somewhat to the center of this plate, front to back, left to right, and drill some holes. Kind of skipped that whole last part, but anyways, I got the holes drilled in this plate and I got it pretty much mounted in the car. I got it just tacked up for now. I got one mount on this side. I think I'm gonna leave just the one mount for now because of when I do an exhaust, it's gonna run on the side of the transmission, down this side, and I don't want to fall on this side. And to begin with, this already had one mount up front, so it should realistically be the same as it was before. I'll try. I mean, it seems really sturdy for what it is now, but this one, the old mount, it sat under the snout like this, and it was just one mount. And that would be like right in the way of the exhaust where I want to run it. I don't want to do like any bends or anything. I want to do a straight piece of pipe for the exhaust and call it a day. But yeah, it's mounted, it's solid. I don't think it's going anywhere. So all I have to do now is just cut off a lot of excess material here and clean it up and make it look nice, even though you won't see it, but I want to make it look nice. So yeah, diff is in. Drive shaft time.